Hello friends and welcome to the weekly moon update. In these videos we talk about the moon energy as well as a little bit of astrology for the current week. In this video's case we're talking about November 17th through the 23rd. So we have a new moon week. We have our Scorpio new moon finally, and it's coming to us at the close of the Scorpio moon cycle. So for the next, at least for the next couple of months, that's how we're going to be having our moon cycles this year. And it's a lot of times we get lucky, I guess I should say, just because I really prefer this energy when the sun and the moon move into the same sign at the same time. But here we are having it move into we're having our moon cycles at the end of the sun season, which is really kind of a different energy, because it's kind of like the sun helped us get introduced to that energy, because I mean the sun is the conscious energy. Then the moon kind of helps us internalize that energy. So as we are moving out of the Scorpio sun season, the Scorpio energy is kind of going within and hopefully cleansing and clearing a lot of things that we need to let go of. So the sun is moving into Sagittarius the day after the new moon. So we have a little over a day to where the sun and the moon are hanging out in the same sign. But then we're moving into Sagittarius season. Sagittarius is that hope and that light and that spark that gets you to change direction or gets you to find something new or gets you feeling hopeful again. So I know that I could really use some hope this week, and I really we have a lot of Sagittarius sun signs within our community, but we also have a lot of people with Sagittarius energy that's very prominent in their chart, whether that's in a moon or a rising or just having a lot of planets in Sagittarius. I really honestly don't think I've ever heard any zodiac sign ever say, I don't get along with Sagittarius. Most people love Sagittarius. They tend to be the life of the party. So Sagittarius energy is just very lovable and hopeful. So I know that I could really use some of that energy this week, and I'm excited to talk about this week. So let's jump into it. So the new moon is happening on Thursday, the 20th, and as you can see, the moon is moving very quickly a couple hours later into Sagittarius. So technically it's a Scorpio new moon, which is happening at 1:46 a.m. And then at 4:24, the moon will start to transition and officially move into Sagittarius, hopefully before you wake up at 5:26 a.m. Thursday morning. It's going to feel like we're in the Scorpio new moon energy for most of all of Tuesday and Wednesday, and part of Monday as well. Officially moves into Scorpio at 4:45 p.m. Monday afternoon. So we're going to be hanging out in Scorpio energy for a while before the actual moon is new. So this means we have our waning or decreasing moon Monday through Wednesday. We'll have our waning crescent moon, and we'll have our new moon on Thursday, and then the moon will begin to wax with our waxing crescent moon Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I know I said this in last week's video. I don't love starting off the Monday with Scorpio energy, but we're Technically kind of not, where the moon is kind of in between Libra and in between Libra and Scorpio at the beginning of the day. And for most of the day, it's going to be void of course from 6:50 a.m. until 4:45 p.m. in the afternoon. So the void of course time is really this like absence of an energy, or maybe a little bit a mixture of both. Honestly, I really do like the transition times because it you can kind of feel that energy shift, and I just really like liminal spaces and kind of the in between and the bridge. Some people say that a void of course time is just total absence of an energy, but I do find that we kind of feel a mixture of both of it. And some people say like a void of course time is a time of rest, of just not doing anything, not acting on anything because of this absence of an energy. Some people like to use void of course times, especially when we have like a longer one like this, to do magic or spell work or set intentions where you are needing a pause or needing a break or needing something to kind of like even out and kind of settle down a little bit. I don't know, just it's a moment of peace, it's a moment of calm, it's kind of in between and just a place where you can kind of rest and pause and just not necessarily feel the need to get up and do anything, take action on things, or just a place of allowance, a place of just settling into that emptiness, so to speak. But then at the end of the day, we'll move into Scorpio, and like I said earlier, we'll be in Scorpio all day Tuesday and all day Wednesday. So Tuesday and Wednesday might be a good time to set your new moon intentions, fill out your reflection and intention section in your planner, journal, really maybe do something that has to do with the element of water, something that helps you cleanse and release and let go whatever may have come up for you on the full moon, whatever maybe if you're still shedding and releasing from eclipse season, if you're still shedding and releasing from all the shifts that we've had this year. A Scorpio moon is a time to like dive deep into those waters, dive deep into that darkness, face your shadows, encounter them, hug them, embrace them, heal them, release them, let go. And a Scorpio moon is has the potential to be difficult, but it's one of those things that you have to face, the things that we have to face, the things that we have to look at, the things that we have to that might not be pretty, the things that might be a little bit uglier or darker or uncomfortable. It's important that we look at those things because when we stuff them down, they kind of explode and go all over the place and get onto things that you maybe didn't want want that energy to get onto. So Scorpio energy teaches us to love and embrace our shadow and to love all of the different parts of ourselves because they're all important, they're all significant. The things that make us uncomfortable are the things that help us change and evolve. And I'm thinking of the analogy of the pearl, of that grit of sand that is constantly irritating and being rubbed and polished and eventually ends up being this beautiful iridescent gem that has captivated people for millennia. So I think it's important to remember that the things that make us uncomfortable are the things that push us to change, that push us to grow. And that is really one of the things that Scorpio can teach us. But then remember, we're moving very quickly into Sagittarius right after the new moon. And then we're diving into the weekend with Sagittarius energy with both the moon and the sun. So on Friday, the sun is moving into Sagittarius. And like I said at the beginning of this video, I really don't know anybody who doesn't love a Sagittarius. Like I have a lot of Sagittarius people in my life and they're fun and they're adventurous and they like to laugh and they like to play and they like to go on adventures and they like to learn things. And I love learning. I mean, that's probably why I study astrology, because it's like this never ending rabbit hole that never ends. I'm constantly learning things about astrology. I'm constantly learning things about myself through astrology. Sagittarius just wants to experience, wants to learn, wants to grow, and wants to change. And that fire it's kind of like we Aries is that spring fire that just like bursts into flames and has all of this energy and potential. And Leo energy is a very kind of like steady, constant, continuous flame. But Sagittarius is really that like spark, that instant, that like when you're rubbing flint together, and it just like it's that friction, that excitement that like ignites that spark. And sometimes I think of Sagittarius fire as like smoldering fire, as like sometimes the coals within the fire are the sometimes the hottest and brightest. It's Sagittarius fire is that kindling within that inspires and motivates you to go on that next adventure. Like Scorpio helped us to cleanse and release and make peace with the past, make peace with all of the different aspects of ourself. And it also clears away and makes room, because, you know, a fire needs room and space to ignite, it needs that oxygen and that air and that space around it to ignite and to become a flame, a smoldering, becoming something that is either going to burst into flames like Aries, or something that's going to stay steady and strong like Leo energy. But Sagittarius is that like you can feel it within. It's like it's all, it feels like you can create it from nothing, but it's really created and inspired by the things that spark your interest, by the things that draw your attention, by the things that are maybe off in the distance, but it catches your eye and you're like, oh, what's just beyond that hill? I want to explore that. I want to go figure out what that is. I want to find that truth. I want to go on this adventure. So we love Sagittarius energy. I mention about Mercury? Mercury is retrograde in Sagittarius, but it's dipping back into Scorpio for a little bit while the moon is in Scorpio, while we're having this Scorpio new moon. And I thought that was kind of interesting. It might help you to uncover that truth, or uncover the words that you need to say in order to heal your shadow, in order to embrace your shadow. So, like finding the words that maybe you need to speak out loud to somebody else, but most importantly, finding the words that you need to tell yourself, that you need to start saying to yourself regularly, or start admitting the truth to yourself. Scorpio and Sagittarius both kind of have this truth element to it. It's like Scorpio can see the truth and uncovers the truth, and like recognizes when something is false, or something is wearing a mask or disguising itself as something else. Scorpio is able to see like what's underneath that mask. And Sagittarius wants to find and discover and explore that a little bit more. Okay, so the thing that's like popping into my mind right now is just going, like having Sun in Sagittarius, having the moon in Sagittarius this weekend has this sort of adventurous feel to it. And the thing that's popping into my mind, and maybe hopefully I'll be able to maybe go on this adventure this week, but in my city we just had this big art installation come to town that I hope it's going to be permanent. I don't see how they could move it, but there's these huge, like bigger than life-size trolls that have been made out of recycled wood, and I think there's like at least 5 or 6 of them that are spread throughout this park in my city. And I mean, like big as trees, trolls. And they are not releasing the exact location of them, so you kind of just have to explore the park and roam around and see if you can find them. I think a lot of people have gone out to see them already, so I think they're probably going to be really easy to find. But I don't know, just the energy of this week has this like just going outside for a walk, just having the experience of exploring. But if it's too cold where you are already, then maybe this is like diving into a book, maybe a fantasy adventure, or just learning something new taking the time to read a nonfiction book and learn something new, learn more about astrology, learn more about your birth chart. There's just so many things in this world that we can learn and grow and explore that kind of has you step outside of the everyday. Remember, Sagittarius time of year is the end of November. Well, it's now. It's the end of November, the beginning of December, and you're really again, like I was talking about earlier, of the void of course time. It's the in between. It's the in between. You're you're looking back at this year and trying to remember the good things, seeing the lessons, seeing the obstacles that you've overcome, but then you're thinking and dreaming about next year and what you want to do, what you want to learn, what you want to see, what adventures you want to go on. So it's kind of this liminal space, like kind of I think Capricorn helps us prepare for the adventure, like pack the bag. But Sagittarius is like dreaming up the plan, dreaming up the map of the thing that you want to go explore. All right. All right. And speaking of going on adventures, the Fool in the tarot deck is literally stepping off of that cliff, heading towards the horizon with just a little bag and their little furry friend, going on this epic quest and adventure that is the journey through the tarot. So we have Boo Boo the Fool, possibilities and potential. This is your moment to make a fresh start, which is very true for a Scorpio. A Scorpio is water, clearing, cleansing. Scorpio is fall water, clearing, cleansing, releasing, shedding the leaves, shedding the snake skin, totally making a fresh start. All of the new moons are going to give us a fresh start, but Scorpio in particular is literally washing away the old and making room for the new. So anything can happen. You are being called towards infinite opportunities. Will you rise to the call? Pack light and go for it. Leave behind the unnecessary, ignore the judgments of others. You are leaping into a new phase. Boo Boo the Fool shows up to remind you of your unlimited potential and the power of taking small risks. This ancestor walks in the energy of optimism and trusting in life. We are all a bit foolish at times. Walk off of the cliff and trust that a net will appear. Boo Boo the Fool is depicted in the colorful, tattered clothing of the Mande ritual clown, an ancient performance dating back to the kingdom of Sagu, now in Mali. This is a gentle reminder not to take yourself or anything else so seriously. Try approaching life with curiosity and joyous expectation. The tarot correspondence is obviously the Fool, and the declaration is, I trust that I am unconditionally loved and supported. It's really kind of strange that, so I pulled these cards because I thought that I was going to be able to film a couple weeks ago now, I think, and I wasn't able to, but I had already pulled the cards, so they were all ready to go for today's video. And it's really interesting that I did not film it, wasn't able to film it before, and this card is also pertaining to like what's happening in my life now, which is actually around the Taurus full moon. So it's really interesting. I've literally been told that there is a safety net and I just need to jump and leap. So it's really weird because like if I had pulled this card today, I would have said, "Oh, this is too much relating to like my life and my energy right now." I would have pulled another one. I would have, because I tried my best to be an open and clear channel and tap into the collective energy and to, have it not be about me. So if I had pulled this card today when I sat down to film this video, I would have pulled another one for the collective because this is so much pertaining to like what's happening in my life right now. So it's interesting that I did not pull this card today and it's essential to my life. Divine timing, whatever. It's weird that like we're receiving this message today, but I had pulled this card a week ago for this week when I was a little bit more in a more stable place in an open and clear channel. So I don't know. It's interesting that we got this card today, and it's because I was like, why wasn't I able to film that before? And I guess it's because I needed to receive this message here and now also. But this card very much pertains to the energy of Sagittarius, of just feeling within you, like feeling that spark and that fire igniting within you. That's just like, yeah, I'm gonna go see what's over that horizon, or on that next hill, or over that next obstacle. Like, we overcome the obstacles with Scorpio. Now we're ready to move forward and find new lessons and new obstacles. So our crystal this week is our beautiful Morganite, and I have a whole deep dive on working with Morganite. Morganite. It's a crystal of sovereignty and compassion that's considered the queen of love stones. It vibrates with the frequency of divine love and inspires you to embody that love and share it with others. Morganite resonates with and opens the heart chakra, promoting emotional healing, including the healing of anger, fear, and judgment. I really find that, like, I mean, most people think of a love stone as rose quartz, but Morganite, more specifically, like, I think we've all, if you've experienced love, if you've taken that leap of faith with love, you know that just as joyous and wondrous and so fulfilling love can be, it also hurts. It just as much joy and incredible passion you can feel the exact opposite amount of pain that's just as intense, just as extreme. But Morganite really helps you to heal those wounds and heal that pain, which I don't think any sword cuts deeper than the sword and pain caused by love or a broken heart. And Morganite really helps to, I'm kind of surprised we didn't get the soulmate chakra card that comes up so much about healing those cracks in your heart. I really feel like Morganite is one of those stones and crystals that really helps to heal those wounds, and also reignites that spark and reignites that flame that, yeah, even though this hurt, I would jump into love in any second again, no matter how much it hurt, no matter how much pain and sorrow and grief that you felt from a past love experience. It still doesn't prevent you from jumping in and trying again and wanting that again. So the affirmation for this crystal is, I embody love and share it freely with others. Because I think that's one of the biggest problems with a broken heart, is that we could tend to wall ourselves off and to protect ourselves. Like, I don't want to feel this pain again. So it's, Morganite is something that can help you take down those walls, open your heart again, and to feel safe, to love freely. So I kind of feel like this crystal is coming with this Scorpio new moon week, because Scorpio is also healing. It's also cleansing and releasing. I just imagine like water seeping into all of those cracks and those broken parts of yourself, and just being this soothing, calming balm, like putting something cool on a wound, or putting something that just gives so much relief to the pain, is very much, Scorpio is so capable of doing that. And because it's not scared to look at that pain, it's not scared to look at those deep dark wounds that we all hold and we all carried from many lives, but also this one that seems to be very painful at this time. Well, I think that we are all collectively like healing wounds from not just this life, from all of the other lives. And Scorpio water really is that balm that can soothe, and that can hold and heal you in places that you need to be held and healed. And our chakra card here is a throat chakra, freedom of expression. Banish fear of judgment now. Let it constrict you no longer. Know that expression of your highest truth is protected and supported by spirit. Speak your authentic wisdom with conviction and courage. Rest assured that doing so will bring you to where you are meant to be. Share your truths from a place of loving compassion so that your words land with the intention you used to compose them. The crystal they recommend is lazulite, and the herb is chamomile, which again is so soothing and calming. Chamomile, I really feel like, is one of those herbs that almost kind of proves the gut brain connection, because chamomile is commonly used in sleepy time tea, but it is very much so because it's calming and soothing, and it's a nervy, and it helps relax you, but it's incredible for the digestive system. It's really, like, if you have an upset stomach, drink some sleepy time tea, because I think usually sleepy time tea has peppermint in there too, which is also soothing for the gut, but chamomile is really, really wonderful for the digestive system. And when your stomach is happy, your heart is and mental state is usually happy too. There is this connection to our gut and our brain. When our stomach is soothed, our emotions are usually soothed too. And if you are experiencing like stress in your life, most people do, we hold like this tension in our core and in our gut, so it disrupts our digestive system when we're holding that tension. I'm not really sure how chamomile is a throat chakra stone or throat chakra herb, but what jumped out at me about this card is that share your truths from a place of loving compassion, and so that your words land with the intention you use to compose them. I think that it's kind of significant for this week, and Mercury moving back into Scorpio while it's retrograde, and kind of again helping us to choose our words. And well, any Mercury retrograde, we really need to like think about the things we say before we speak. But again, that Scorpio energy of that soothing balm feeling can also have the same, like Mercury and Scorpio can have that same effect of using your words to heal, using your words, whether that's the words you're speaking to yourself or the words that you are saying to others. Words have the potential to heal. They have the potential to be that soothing balm that I was talking about earlier with Scorpio energy. So the full energy really kind of teaches us to go back to a beginner's mindset, to find that innocence and that naivety of being curious and being excited about what's to come and what this next adventure is going to be. I when I'm like going through things, difficult things personally in my life, I kind of, I'm so focused on what I'm dealing with and what I'm going through, but usually I'm really connected and able to tap into the collective energy, and I think that we are all experiencing these big shifts differently and handling them in different ways. And personally for me, like I get like I feel scared. I don't feel safe with these new things and new changes, because we don't know what they look like yet. We haven't experienced them yet, and it is scary to take that leap of faith and to just jump off that cliff and and expect that there's going to be something on the other side, that something's going to catch you, that something's going to hold you in places that you need to be held. I think what I have been trying to come to terms with, or trying to realize, is that again, I know I've said this before, the resistance is kind of making it more difficult and making it more painful even, and uncomfortable, that like resistance, because not only are you being pushed in one direction, you're like pushing back, and it's like this tug of war. It's like this push and pull that eventually has to one side has to give in, one side has to fall, one side has to, I don't know, maybe get their face shoved in the mud. That's kind of how I feel like. um but the Fool teaches us to get back up, dust yourself off, and be like, okay, well, let's try this again. Let's keep going. And I do find that in these very brief moments where I'm able to stop focusing on the resistance of the like, this is uncomfortable, this is scary, I don't like this, I'm scared, and to take your focus off of that fear for even the very brief moments that I'm capable of right now, you start to see, but like, you start to see that relief, you start to see that light, you start to feel that spark ignite that like, but wait, I asked for this. We all asked for this change. We wanted this transformation. I'm not sure that we knew that we would have to give up so much of like what we already know in order for the new. But I think what I've learned with the Taurus full moon, or what was illuminated for me on the Taurus full moon, is that we can focus on the things that bring us relief, that bring us comfort, that provide our basic needs, because that is what is most important. It's most important that you are supported in some sort of stable way. So seeking those things that bring you comfort and seeking those things that make you feel safe and comfortable again is okay. To seek those things out, to find comfort, to find relief, so that you can regain your strength and energy to be the Fool and carry on the journey again. Because I think if we are fighting and if we are resisting, then that's wasting our energy too, and then we're totally exhausted to even experience the thing that we were so excited for in the beginning. So I think it kind of comes back to what I was saying about the void of course energy, is allowing that space for emptiness, allowing that space for nothingness, of allowing that space for pause and quiet and calm. Then you can regain your strength and energy to be the Fool, to take that next step. And that's also what the new moon or the dark moon teaches us. It teaches us to be okay with the emptiness and be okay with that rawness without knowing what the next thing is yet. So I hope that you have a happy new moon. I hope that you're able to find some rest and peace and pause and calm and some sort of soothing balm that heals the wounds that we all have within, and that helps soothe and bring comfort and a sense of safety again. I hope that you're able to find that space and that peace, and I hope that you're able to reconnect to the spark that makes you excited to move forward in the first place. Thank you so much for being here. I can't wait to see what next journey and adventure you go on now. So our new moon is happening on Thursday. Oops. That's not my laser.